Hello everybody, my name is Shelly. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you are new, then you should be aware that I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I get nothing in PR. Nothing comes to me for free. I buy it with all my own money. Unless my husband gives me something. I'm always forever grateful when someone wants to give me something, including my husband, supporting my addiction to palettes. And today we're going to do another dupe video. I have the Natasha Denona Gold Palette, which is gorgeous. Brown, gold, pop a teal, and I'm going to compare that to the CColor Cosmetics Golden Palette. This is a brand new fresh palette. It's never even been opened. Let's take the protective cover off, shall we? I'm going to break a nail. It's kind of anticlimactic. Let's open up the Natasha Denona side. We'll take a look at this gorgeous gold palette. This reminds me a lot of the Sunset palette. I think it's similar in the sense that it's like the reflective metallic. That's what the palette looks like. Again, browns, neutrals, gold. A couple interesting shades here with this darker, richer teal and this kind of shimmer aqua. Let's actually swatch a bunch of these golds in here. I've got one that's kind of a gold-ish. We'll take that one next to it. Oh my gosh, that's got a green shift to it. Wow, that was unexpected. Then there's that one. I'm just getting all the gold shimmers. That one, clean finger. There's another one we'll put up here. Very light topper it looks like. And then we've got one more down here. Yeah, you know, I mean, they're fun. This one was the unexpected one. That's like a definite duochrome kind of a thing. If you're looking at the palette and you're looking at it upside down, it's this one right here in the corner. So I think what I want to do is do a look with these four shades right here. A little bit out of my comfort zone. The CColor Cosmetics side is not exactly laid out the same, is it? Actually it is. You know, if you watched any of my other dupe videos before, you've heard me say, I'm okay with something being inspired by. I don't want it to come across as an exact fake. That I draw the line on. Now this is CColor Cosmetics. It's not proclaiming, it's not saying that they're Natasha Denona. It is pressing the envelope a little bit, calling it the Golden Palette compared to the Gold Palette. So there's a little bit of, you know, crossing of the lines here. The CColor Cosmetics side does not, doesn't have any names written on it. They didn't name it. So we can't claim that they're plagiarizing it that way. But they appear to be laid out exactly the same way, which will make my job so much easier. So, you know, I'm going to start off. My plan is to start using four shades, and we'll just see what we can come up with. I already have my eyelids primed. I've got a little P. Louise base in the shade number 2. Looks like this, just in case you were interested. So let's do this. Let's do what I normally do, which is I'm gonna take the same brushes on each side. I'm gonna clean them off with a color switch. Phone's making noise. I'm gonna clean them off with a color switch in between, and that way we get the most consistent application on both because we're using the same brushes. You know, aside from the switching sides of the face, we should be able to get a pretty good similar look, I would think. Color switch in between. I'm just double checking and making sure my brushes are clean right now. I'm sure they are, but just double checking. And I do have some cotton rounds. I might, you know, double check them for cleanliness by swiping them on the rounds kind of in between and just making sure, because I want to be as consistent and authentic as possible. Sorry, I should have done this before I got on. Okay, we're in good shape. We're getting ready to start. I will tell you that I've had some good luck and some not perfect examples of the CColor Cosmetics dupes before. We are not comparing quality, right? You can't take a $129 palette and compare it to a $11 palette. You can't do that and expect them to be spot on dupe. But you can try to mimic the same look, and perhaps maybe the colors can be the same. We're gonna try. The one that I think I'm gonna have the hardest time with is this duochrome color over here that flashes green and orange and all kinds of delicious colors. And I don't see that on the CColor Cosmetics side. If you are doing these, if you're doing a similar eye look with either of these products, you might consider doing your face makeup first, or doing your eyeshadow first and then doing your face makeup. So let's take, we're using this, wait, hold on. Yeah, we're gonna use this one right here. A little bit of kick up on the CColor Cosmetics side, not to be unexpected. They're known, well, I know them, not they're known. My opinion is that they're a little bit looser pressed than the Natasha Denona ones are typically, but I think with both of them you do get some kick up. If that bothers you, perhaps don't get dressed wearing white clothes. Okay, so far so good. I like the shade. Shade is perfectly fine. If it was a standalone shade, I'd say, okay, shade, I got you. Now let's switch over to the Natasha Denona side. I did just clean off my brush. We're going to go into this one right here, which should be the exact same one. A little bit of hiccup, not unexpected. And immediately I'm seeing that it applies a lot more saturated and opaque, but I think I can blend it out because I didn't pick up all that much. I've had that happen to me several times now, where the Natasha Denona was surprisingly pigmented after I used the cosmetic side. Cleaning the brush off. You know what, I'm going to add a little bit more on this side. The color actually seems to be a pretty darn good match. That doesn't always happen. It's a good match. It does blend out a little bit. I have this situation right here with this eyelid that I always seem like it gets a little patchy. You guys are really far away. Let me zoom you in. Hi. Is that a little bit better? Okay. I always feel like I get a little patchy right here, but I think that's just my eyelid. I think it's, you know, they're not young. Cleaning off the brush. Pick up a little bit more over here on the Natasha side just because I want it to be the right shape. So pretty. Yeah, I like that shade. It's a different shade. What is it called? On the Natasha side, it's called Dijon. Appropriate. I'm going to take this dark teal over here. A little smaller brush, but I'm going to take the darker teal and start up my lash line, and we're going to kind of build it up. I had to check to see how much fallout I had. It's not a ton. And as soon as I blend that darker shade over where I felt like it was getting patchy, it seems to have eliminated that patchiness. So again, I think it's my eyelids. This shade seems to have a little bit of shimmer. If you were concerned about shimmers on crepey lids, then we don't like that kind of negativity. You can go to another channel. Sorry, you guys. Cleaning off my brush. Some people say, oh, but can older lids handle shimmers? Yes, yes, you can. I think it matters if you have a good solid base, a foundation, like anything. Can't redirect or can't decorate the attic unless the foundation of the house is solid. Non-pro tip for the day. Okay, I've gone in twice now to kind of build up that shade on the Natasha side because I don't want it to be patchy, and I feel like, and I gotta double check this, but it feels to me that the Natasha Denona one is more matte. Yeah, if I swatch them, the CColor Cosmetics looks slightly more shimmery, and the Natasha Denona seems a little bit darker and richer and more matte. Going back into the Natasha side, just to kind of a little bit more right there. I'm gonna clean off that brush a little bit. Just kind of use it to sort of diffuse the edges. Okay, edges diffused, blends well together. Cleaned off the brush, I'm just gonna go back into it on the cosmetic side. Okay, this one I feel like it got a little old bruise looking. Over here, I can definitely see the distinctions between the shades. I've got a flat brush here. I'm gonna go in on the CColor Cosmetics side into the lighter greenish teal color. I'm just kind of loading it up and pressing it in, and it's applying okay with a brush. I'm not disappointed with that. I'm gonna take it with my finger now. Let's go over the top of it and just kind of press it in a little bit. Oh yeah, that made it a lot more almost metallic-y looking. And I need a cleaner brush and dust off some of that glitter. That's okay. All right, let's try the same thing on the Natasha side. Cleaning off that same brush. Check it against my white cotton swab. And we're gonna load it up with this right here. This is not a work look that I'm doing. This is more of a date night look, I think. Pressing on the lid. Now, this to me feels on the Natasha side like it's a little bit more of a topper when I apply it with a brush. So I'm gonna try it with my finger next. It's building up with my finger. It doesn't seem to be settling too much into creases, but I feel like this shade is a little bit more of a topper than necessarily a shimmer or a metallic. Does that make sense? Like it's a little bit of a thinner quality, it feels. It's not a bad thing. It just means that it might work better pressing over the top of something. Now, for fun, I'm gonna take a little setting spray into the palm of my hand. We're gonna grab that same brush. I'm gonna load it up, setting spray. I'm gonna go back into this shade right here, now that it's on a damp brush. If that makes any difference. Yeah, I feel like that helped that quite a bit, turn it into the sort of richness that I was expecting. Again, not a bad thing, but I actually kind of like a shadow that performs several different ways. I think it amped it up a little bit when I used my finger, but then with the damp brush, I think that's actually kind of pretty. Yeah, I like it. And this is where we say, we're not testing the quality, Shelly. We already know that, and I can't not. I have to mention it. I do feel like I'm similar color stories. I just smeared something on my cheek. Clean that up a little bit. I do feel like it's very, very similar. Like I'm having a hard time seeing the difference with my eyes, but we're gonna mess that up here. I'm taking this shimmer in the corner, which is supposed to be that crazy green shimmer, the crazy green flip color that I have in the other palette. It's the same place and everything else is spaced out exactly the same place. And I'm putting that in like the first quarter of my eye, tear duct there, and we're just gonna blend it in I like the way it looks. Color switching my brush, getting it back on the other side. And this is where we go into this shade that I don't think is possible to recreate with any other. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a different. Now you may not be able to tell on the camera. I can tell quite a bit in the mirror. When I first put it on, it was like, wow, this really does take on a different tone. Slightly different. Again, you guys forgive me for any technique errors. We're seeing if we can get a similar look with both palettes. I keep having to remind myself that that's our mission today, and I think we're getting there. So let me do a little tiny bit of cleanup here. Really not a lot. Not a ton of fallout, frankly. Okay, I'm back. I've got a little cleanup going on here. I did, again, the Milani Supercharged. I've got fluffs and stuff in my hair. Train wreck. All right, you guys. I love that the shade that's this crazy shift of color. I don't know if it's even doing it justice. It's like gold and green and orange. That's really stunning. I need to finish up this look because I think I've, you know, taken up enough of your guys' time here. I'm getting on that. I've got the Natasha side. I'm going to go in with this white champagne color. I'm going to do a little tiny bit more of that right in the center over here. And on the CColor Cosmetics side, doing a little cleanup. The CColor Cosmetics side, taking the light over here. Feels a little chunky. Brings me exactly where I need to be. Cleaning up that brush. I need a darker color. I'm going to go into this dark chocolate brown on the Natasha Denona side. And I'm going to use this right under here along that lash line. We're doing dramatic, right? So I'm going to go all the way in. Flip over to the CColor Cosmetics side. Take that same one. This is just a fun sort of jeweled date night look. I think I actually want to take this shade right here, which is like a cool toned shimmer. And I'm just going to take that just slightly underneath that dark shade, just to sort of soften it up a little bit. Wow. This might be one of my favorite shades of this entire palette, which I thought the other one was, just because I can see using that all over my lid. Take the same one over here on the cosmetic side. And we're just going just slightly underneath, soften it up. I've used a number of shades on this palette. Let me put some mascara on and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. I've got some mascara on. That always makes everything feel more polished and put together and finished as far as I'm concerned. My dog is breathing heavy. Yay. Okay, you guys, there's both looks. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference in tone? If I do this, can you see? Because when I look in my mirror, I barely can see the difference. And that's fantastic. Good job, CColor, on at least coming up with a similar, you know, color story-ish. The quality of the Natasha side just blows the other one out of the way. You can't, you've got to take that off the table. Now, what else can I tell you about this palette? The CColor Cosmetics one is made in the PRC. It is cruelty-free. You can get it off CColor Cosmetics. I think if you go over to like Hot Mess Mama MD, she's got a code. They've never given me a code. That I don't have a big enough channel for them to even give me a code to save you guys some money. Nor do I have a code with Natasha Denona, but the Natasha Denona actually, you know, she'll like my pictures on Instagram. So there's that. CColor Cosmetics has never done that. Don't really care. Sorry, you guys. I probably don't need to tell you about that. Okay, you guys, you're really close. I'm gonna scoot back here a little bit. Okay, so as far as the dupe goes, yeah, I think I pulled off a similar color story. Aside from that, is it worth your money for either of them? I gotta say yes. Now I have brown eyes, and I can tell you that this shade of teal is one of my all-time favorites. That and like a navy blue, I really feel like makes brown eyes pop. Once you throw in some bronzes and some golds, man, I mean, this is a palette that works for me for a variety of situations. This gives me daytime, work appropriate color story. It definitely gives me something a little bit more exotic for date night, as you can see that I played with right now. And I love this crazy color in here. I'm just, I don't even know how to tell you how many of these colors I just think are so beautiful. I've got a relatively clean hand right now. I think that it's easy to pair up a couple colors together to get you a super fast look. You can throw one of them all over your lid, or you can get a little bit more creative and build them up. And I love palettes where you can get multiple looks out of the same palette. That's kind of what got me going on here. So do I think the color story is perfect? Yeah, I really do. This is really one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes. Did I say that out loud? I've got so many of them that I like. But this is probably one of my favorite ones. Now, is it the best palette to travel with? It does have a magnetic closure. So, you know, that's good. It is solid. It does feel good. I think I'm just going to put it in other things to get it packed. If I was worried about it, or if I was going for a longer period of time, I'd take the CColor Cosmetics one, because maybe I should travel with this, huh? case it breaks. I might do that. I don't know. I guess that's why you have the dupes, right? So you can take one of them to travel with. There you go. My little pro tip. Take the cheaper ones when you want to travel so you don't break the good ones. Don't buy duplicates of the same things. Don't do this. But if you were interested in one and couldn't find it, you've got an option with the CColor Cosmetics. Did it come up with a relatively spot on, you know, color combination? I think so. I think I got a good one. You guys leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Did I succeed? Did CColor Cosmetics succeed? I hope you guys are doing really, really well. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're feeling kind and generous and you're still with me this far in. I really do hope you're doing well. So until my next video, bye for now.